Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back and I have an interesting video for you. Today you can see behind me I have a 2001 Polaris Scrambler 500 HO and I have a 2004 Polaris Trail Boss 330. What I'm going to do in this video today is I'm going to show you how simple it is to tighten the chain on these quads. Now the technique that I'm fixing to share with you guys requires a few tools and it'll work on both of these quads. The first thing that you need is a 5/8 inch box end wrench. You need a 1/2 inch socket. You need a 5/8 inch socket. And on occasion you might need a 11/16 inch socket. You're also going to need a 3/8 inch ratchet drive as well as a pipe wrench. That's what I like to use for this task. So let's get started. Okay, if you take a look and you see how loose this chain is, it's actually very simple to fix. So there's 4 bolts that I need to loosen. That's 1, 2, 3, and on the back side underneath, I'll show it here in a second, there's a 4th bolt. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one and this one are 1/2 inch, and these two on the top are 5/8. Right now we're looking at the rear end of the Scrambler 500 HO. If you look underneath, you can see the size of these is 11/16, not 5/8. 5/8 on the top, 11/16 on the bottom. Pretty simple process. So for the process today, I'm not even gonna need this 11/16. That's, like I said, that's only on occasion, and that's only on my Sportsman, or excuse me, my Scrambler 500. So I have the 5/8 inch ratchet on there. I'm gonna put the 5/8 box in underneath to back it up. And let's loosen this one. You don't have to take them all the way off, you just need to loosen them a little bit. Get that on there. 1, 2, 3. Not a hard process at all, folks. In fact, before I learned how to do this, I was a little bit intimidated thinking that it was harder than it actually is. It's not that bad. These 2 bolts, I'm going to do the bottom one that's furthest away first. Go. And if you notice the housing right here, it'll split apart as I start to loosen this other one. See that gap there of that thing splitting apart, creating a little bit of distance. Okay, you don't have to take these all the way off or anything like that. From this point, because this axle is off center, when I rotate the axle forward or backwards, that'll tighten or loosen the chain depending on which direction I'm moving this axle. So I'm going to take this pipe wrench underneath and I'm going to get a nice little bite on everything. Got to open it up a little bit. See me turning the axle, and I'm pulling this up towards me, and you can see the chain has already tightened a little bit. I'm going to grab it a little bit more. See that? Look at that chain. Nice and tight, and it's that simple. If you go too far, what I like to do is put the pipe wrench in sideways and then just kind of turn it and then remove just a little bit till I get the right tightness that I want on that chain. Be careful for that zerk fitting. You don't want to accidentally break that. That's a little bit loose, so let's go a little bit more. So again, I'm going to go underneath, get a little grip. That's good. Do just a little more, just for good measure. That's good for me. So we'll put the pipe wrench down. Now we're going to tighten these nuts back up. And that's all there is to it. It's a pretty simple process. You can see this biting down. Everything's tight right there. Be careful not to over tighten to the point where you might strip the bolts out or something like that, because this is an aluminum piece here. It's not steel. It's a pretty straightforward process. Okay, so we're done with the 1/2 inch socket. Finished there. Now we're going to put the 5/8 on. Back this baby up. Let's tighten these. If you haven't tightened or loosened your chain in a while, it might be easier to actually take this bracket off, and by taking these 2 bolts out, this will slide all the way off the machine, and it'll give you a little bit better access to the rear axle. And that's only in the event that it's having trouble moving on you, you know. I've never had to do that though. I've been able to get past it without having to take it off. And these are a fine thread, so you can move fairly quickly. You're not going to over tighten it anytime soon. And what this does is this basically clamps down the axle around so that it's locked in that position that we wanted. So there you have it, folks. Now we have a chain that is nice, and as we ride the bike, it'll loosen a little bit, but that's a lot better than it was. Well, folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on how to tighten these chains using just a few tools on these Polaris quads. Again, 2001 Scrambler 500 HO. On the bottom it takes 11/16, and on the top it's 5/8. And then these are both 1/2 inch. Same exact process. And the 2004 Trail Boss 330, same exact thing, but it's 5/8 on both sides. I hope you got some good useful information out of this video today. Please feel free to leave your comments down below, like this video, share this video, and if you like the type of content that you see on my channel, please don't hesitate hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to have you. And until next time, thanks again for watching. Have a beautiful day now. Bye-bye.